There's something about an animated Disney movie that just speaks to you on a deeper level. As the years breeze by, it's easy to become jaded and cynical about the corporate machine spitting out remakes and sequels, but even then, the criticism usually stems from a feeling of betrayal, like a scorned lover. As Disney formed this indescribably powerful connection with you that still lingers deep inside. It taught you about the world, about life, about death, about dreams, and about magic. It inspired you and made you feel part of something bigger than just yourself. But why are Disney movies so hypnotic? Why do they feel pure and everlasting? For me, it's that they capture something truly beautiful about the life cycle, the larger game that we are universally bound to play into. Their stories often start by capturing the unbridled joy a new child brings to the world, that whether it's Dumbo being delivered by the stork, or Nemo, or Simba, or Bambi, we're being shown something universal, a primal instinct, the unbreakable bond between parent and child, how it feels to love and be loved, that your very existence can be the highlight and meaning of someone else's life. This is your primary caregiver, the original love that teaches you that you matter. But Disney expands this out so that the joy isn't just felt by your parents, but by the whole community. That creatures from all walks of life come together and appreciate the majesty and wonder of a new life coming into the world, and all the incredible possibility that lays before them. It teaches you to not fear the outside world, that people are looking out for you, that everything is working in harmony and in your favor. So we see characters at one with nature, that animals are your friend and strangers are just friends you haven't met yet. This captures the truest feeling of innocence that resonates with a warm, safe childhood. But that innocence is then stripped away. That as much as life can be safe and light and beautiful, it can also be dangerous and dark and cruel. What originally seemed like an unbreakable bond must now be severed, like cutting the umbilical cord. Parent and child will now either be physically separated by outside forces or separated by tragedy. Discovering that there are things in this world that you are not privy to, that you are protected from, but you can only be protected from them for so long. These feelings resonate with us because we will all be separated from our parents at some point, through going to school, through travel, through sickness, or through death. This overwhelming feeling of separation anxiety, of no longer being safe and at the mercy of the world. The Lion King and Bambi capture our deepest fear that our mother or father could, in a flash, be taken away forever. And the way these stories unfold makes them all the more heartbreaking, as the pain and confusion is relatable. The innocent characters feel like this separation must be temporary, as if this is just a brief moment, like when you lose your parents in the supermarket. And then when the reality of death is discovered, the innocent world we first saw shatters, and all that's left is confusion and despair, helping to teach us how to wrap our heads around real loss, that the natural end of true joy warrants deep sadness. These are heavy topics for a children's film to address, but they're important because they're universal inevitabilities. Everyone will find love, and everyone will lose it. And part of appreciating what's in the here and now is understanding that it will not always be, that you should value what you have and who you have in your life, as tomorrow is never guaranteed. Walt Disney himself stated, "Movies can and do have tremendous influence in shaping young lives in the realm of entertainment towards the ideals and objectives of normal adulthood." But what these stories do a wonderful job of is then deepening our connection to the things that cannot be taken away by the outside world, the feelings and memories that live inside each of us. Disney shines its focus on family and ancestry, those whose footprints we follow and whose imprint is forever tattooed on our souls. That although the people we love may pass, that a part of them still lives inside of us and inspires us, and we can share the gifts they gave to us with others. But life is not only about what you're born into, it's about who you choose to become. That each of us have an instinct inside of us, a gift, a drive, a purpose, a dream. And these stories encourage us to dream with our hearts, not our minds. As the famous lyrics go, when you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are, anything your heart desires will come to you. This runs in contrary to how many real-life decisions typically get made, crushing words like practicality or necessity, always dissuading the heart from pursuing what it feels it wants or needs. But where others may want to shackle your dreams, Disney encourages you to believe in yourself, which is vitally important because not everyone has a supportive social circle, and just a little bit of encouragement can go a long way. Just because no one else around you will support your dream, that doesn't mean that it can't come true, or that it's anything to be ashamed of. And we see this time and time again. Geppetto's dream comes true because he's brought so much joy to others. Dumbo is mocked and dismissed for his big ears, but those flaws are what make him special and able to do things that no other elephant can. This is where Disney speaks to the child in all of us. It gives us permission to unlock our desires and put our imaginations to use. That yes, you might fall, but you also might fly. It doesn't pretend there are no obstacles, but tries to expand our minds to see that even the most impossible obstacles can be overcome, but they require teamwork, belief, and sacrifice. In fact, we regularly see that true friends are people that enable you to dream of better for yourself and work with you to help make your dreams a reality, rather than dissuade you from wanting more or even trying. While everyone's dreams are different, in Disney's world, at its core, they're mostly about finding love or reuniting love. They don't capture the reality of how challenging romantic relationships can be to sustain, but they're not supposed to. They reflect the magic of how a child first experiences romantic love, especially having come directly from their parents' unconditional love. The type of romantic love that feels like the universe is working in your favor, placing you in the right place at the right time with the right person, so that it feels like fate. And although this isn't a mature expectation, it is a pure aspiration. It captures the excitement of what our first ever romantic feelings feel like, as if your heart is singing. For some characters, they believe that their whole life purpose is to just meet this one person, and for others, they unexpectedly stumble into it and discover that it's actually more important to them than anything else. Which again ties into the theme of the life cycle, or as the Lion King put it, the circle of life. We watch these characters being born, turning into adults, pursuing their dreams, falling in love, and then having children of their own. This theme is exemplified by how many times we see older people at the end of their life mixed with young children just starting theirs, as the target audience spend more time with their grandparents and are about to be introduced to the realities of death. This is how Disney stories don't just connect children to adulthood, they also reconnect adults to their childhood, creating a harmonious mutual understanding of one another and what life should be about. As Walt Disney stated, adults are only kids grown up anyway. If we look at some of Pixar's more mature works, like Up and Soul, we don't receive the simple message that dreams will always come true, but that through the ups and downs of life may simply slip away or never quite come to fruition. But that doesn't make our lives pointless, as it's the pursuit of something that inspires us that brings out our best, as we're being true to ourselves. Up had the bravery to show us that losing love at any time always feels too soon, but that it's never too late to open your heart and begin your next adventure. And Soul taught us to appreciate every day while in pursuit of something, rather than only allowing yourself to be happy when the goal itself has been achieved. Both stories conclude that the real meaning of life is to share joy with others and not selfishly hold on to your own talents and dreams, but to share them with the next generation and the generation after them. As beyond just ourselves, we all have a responsibility to take care of one another for the greater good and continued progression of our species. As the song at the end of Bambi goes, love is a song that never ends, one simple theme repeating. Whether it's that beauty comes from the inside, to follow your heart, that nothing is impossible, or that it's never too late to do the right thing, these stories resonate with us on a deeper level, as they speak to us not just about how the world is, but how it should be, and how if we work together, possibly could be. That fundamentally, as human beings, we're all participating in this larger project, whether we recognize it or not. We all have dark sides and light, so why not be the person who says yes instead of no, the person who dreams instead of dismisses, or the person who shares instead of hoards? Emotionally, Disney captures the beauty of being alive. That despite the pain of loss, that love is worth it, and manages to help us see that there is real magic in this world, in our everyday lives, if we just search for it, if we just listen to it. That life itself is a gift, and by reliving the most powerful moments that formed us, we can forget about our fears, remember who we truly are, and rediscover the magic that lives inside of each of us. If you enjoy content like this and want to see more of it, please do consider supporting me on Patreon, as it really does make a difference to how much content I can pump out. Or if you can't afford that, then simply like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment down below to help the algorithm do its thing.